So I'm Kira Morgan. I'm here at Hatfield Marine Science Center's Marine Science Day, and we're with Dr. Leah Torres and
Dominic Kone.
All right, awesome. And tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing.
We do some really cool work on a few different species of marine megafauna. So we study blue whales and gray whales and albatrosses and sea otters. So sea otters are Dom's forte, so he can tell you a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the state of Oregon is considering reintroducing sea otters. And so I am looking into some of the more ecological implications, so potential habitat and ecological effects of otters if we were to bring them back.
And there's some certain advantages of having otters in our oceans, right? They're good for the ecosystem.
Yeah, so there are a lot of what we call ecosystem services or potential benefits such as kelp restoration or habitat provisioning for a range of fishery species that may be important to recreational or commercial fisheries.
And Dr. Torres, tell us about your work with the whales.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of cool work with the whales. We use drones in the past few years to look at their body shape and condition, to try and see how fat or skinny they are. We also use drones to look at their behavior, because we can look through the water column and see what they're doing, because from the boat we don't get that perspective at all. So we've been able to document some really cool new feeding behaviors, as well as blue whales feeding on big krill patches, or gray whales doing headstands to try and get at prey. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. We also collect their poo a lot, which is a biological gold mine, because we can do genetics with the poo. We can look at their hormones and what they're eating and microbiome and all sorts of cool stuff.
I have Morgan here. She is one of the volunteers at the Hatfield Marine Science Center, and she's here all the time, well, almost all the time. And she's here to greet visitors and show them around and do a lot of great work here at the center. Morgan, tell us a little bit about this great project. It's a real interesting story of how this embryonic window skate egg case came to be. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so actually a volunteer found this skate egg case on the beach. This whole thing is a skate egg case here. It was pretty full of sand, so she brought it in, and we were thinking there wasn't anything living in there, but we told her we'd flush it out with fresh salt water just in case. When we were flushing it out, these tails all started moving. All three of them came to life. And so we were like, oh yeah, we have skate embryos, and they actually look like this. They look like naked mole rats to begin with. They just look like little fleshy beings. And these are the egg yolks here. There's 3 embryos in here. They're each attached to an egg yolk. They feed on those egg yolks for 9 months. That's how long they stay in this whole egg case. Now these guys are pretty, they're looking like adult skates here. They have the fake eyes here, the wings, and they're starting to turn brown. So we know they're pretty close to hatching. We know they will hatch when they grow a little hook on the end of their nose. That's what they use to slit open the end of this egg case and exit. They are reaching capacity in here really quickly, so they're going to hatch any day now.
I'm with Harry, who is a volunteer with the Oregon Cetacean Society, and they do all kinds of great things, studying and helping out with whales and all different species of whales, correct?
Yes, although I talk mostly about orca.
All right, so let's talk about this orca skull that we have here. It's so big. So tell us a little bit about the skull.
Okay, here's your question for the day. This was the actual size of the orca when she washed up on shore. And this was her skull. So the question is, what is in this area? And the answer is, because the brain is back here, picture a watermelon, but picture a really soft watermelon. And she pushes air through these holes here in her bone to shape the melon and to talk, to vocalize. So that's what she uses to communicate with other orca, and that's what she uses to send echolocation signals out, her own sonar. Now she hears the sound back through her lower jaw.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you look in the back of the lower jaw there, it's hollow. When she was alive, there was a substance in there. It was a gelatinous substance that's a terrific receiver and transmitter of sound. So it's a very advanced system that they have here. and they can communicate underwater up to 10 miles.
So we do get orcas here off of our central coast, and April is a time when we see them, or tend to see them more often, right?
There's 3 different types that we can see off our coast. The residents, the transients, and the offshores. The transients are the ones that we're most likely to see in April because the food source for transients are other marine mammals like sea lions and seals and calves of gray whales and humpback whales. The residents, they come off our shore too, but they're looking for fish. They're just fish eaters. And the third type are called the offshores. They're about 45, 50 miles out, but they're there. And they feed mostly on shark and tuna.
I've got Kevin here talking about the Oregon State University Scientific Diving and Small Boat Program. Kevin, tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I'm the diving and small boat safety officer for the university. So I oversee all of the underwater activities done by people at OSU. We've got a wide range of faculty and students working around the world underwater, from the South Pole to tropical reefs, coastal Oregon, Oregon rivers. So any place there's science to be done underwater, there's chances a person is down there doing it.
And tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that you have. We have a hanging diver, not a real person though.
That is Scuba Sally. So she is dressed up as a typical Northwest scientific diver.
Wow, a lot of equipment.
Yep, dry suit and a lot of support equipment and also some basic science equipment. So she's carrying a underwater data slate with waterproof paper, and she's carrying a fiberglass meter tape for measurements and stuff underwater. And then she's got all of her support equipment attached, support and safety equipment attached.
We are talking with
Ed Dever, and I'm a professor at Oregon State University.
wonderful Ed. What is it that you are working on here?
So I'm working on something called the Ocean Observatories Initiative. And the Ocean Observatories Initiative is an effort to build sustained ocean observing networks, not just off of Oregon and Washington, which is where I work, but off the East Coast and a couple of global sites too in the Gulf of Alaska and south of Greenland.
So what is the purpose of having the Ocean Observatories Initiative?
So this is a research-based network. It's funded by the National Science Foundation, and it's designed to support a new type of ocean observing capability for ocean scientists. So the idea is to be in the ocean 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and make that information available to scientists to do oceanographic research. But we also make the data available to policymakers, educators, and the general public.
And what is this equipment that you have here?
So this is what we have in front of us here is called an ocean glider, and it's designed to get measurements up to half a mile deep, and it operates for periods of up to 3 months at a time off the Oregon and Washington coasts. It can go out to 250 miles or so away from shore, and again it can dive up to half a mile deep. And the kind of data that it takes, it measures the ocean's temperature, the amount of salt in the water, the oxygen levels in the water, along with light levels, chlorophyll levels, which are the amount of kind of living plant matter, and the dead stuff, what we call the colored dissolved organic matter, as well as ocean oxygen levels.
So how was it that you were able to get this equipment out into the ocean? Do you have undersea cables?
So this equipment, this one right here flies completely on its own. So right now it's hooked up to some shore power just for demonstration purposes. But it runs on batteries. It's controlled by land. It comes up to the surface every 3 to 6 hours, and then the pilot or the operator can update its mission, tell it where to go, download some of the scientific data, make sure that the instrument's still working okay, all that kind of good stuff.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ed, for talking with us on Pacific Northwest News and Entertainment.
Thanks very much. Thanks for your interest.